The battle of the action camera brothers begins. The Yi Lite versus the Yi Discovery. What's up everyone, I'm the Everyday Dad. If I can figure it out, you can figure it out. I've been recommending the Yi Lite as the best budget action camera for about 6 months now. Yi has released an even cheaper version called the Discovery, which looks almost exactly like the Yi Lite and is only $60. I did a full video on the Yi Discovery that you can see here. Ding! And while I didn't end up recommending it, sometimes our budgets only stretch so far. So let's compare the two budget cameras and see what you're really giving up for that 40 bucks. Now, before we dive too deep into this comparison, let's check out the basic specs so we're all on the same page. The Yi Lite has a 150-degree ultra-wide-angle lens with an f2.8 aperture. It has a 16-megapixel Sony Exmor-R CMOS sensor. It can record in 4K 20. I need to stop even saying that it records in 4K. It can do 1080p in 30 frames per second and 1080p in 60 frames per second, which is why you'd be looking at these cameras in the first place. It does have electronic image stabilization, and its 1200 milliamp hour battery will give you roughly 130 minutes of recording time. The Discovery, on the other hand, has the very same 150-degree wide-angle lens. It has an f2.4 aperture, which makes it a faster lens, but means you can get more light into it, so it should work better in low light, which we'll find out here in a little bit. It has a Sony IMX179 image sensor, which is not as good as an Exmor sensor. It can also do 4K and 20 frames per second. And again, it does 1080p in 30 and 1080p in 60 frames per second, which again, that's what you're looking for. The Discovery has no stabilization, and its 900 milliamp hour battery will give you a 90-minute battery life. So from the base specs, we can already see where the cost is going. The Yi Lite has a better battery and a better image sensor inside of it. But what's really important is, how are these two held up by the pillars of action? First up, ease of use. As I've mentioned before, I need an action camera to be easy to use. If I want more pro-level pictures, I'll bring my mirrorless camera, I'll bring my cell phone out because my Galaxy S9 is amazing. But I just want action cameras to have very little go time. Now when I say go time, I mean the amount of time it takes between me just like riding my bike and then me being able to start recording. That's what matters. How long does it take from me going to nothing to me being recording? That's go time. Another patented TED trademarked phrase. Both the Yi Lite and the Discovery have basically the same LCD touchscreen and are really easy to use. If you want to switch between the separate modes, photo, video, etc., it is really quick and snappy to accomplish. And I also like that you can frame your shot really easily thanks to this feature. When you're using a gimbal all the time like me, like a gimbal that I'm wearing, if I don't have that screen, I can't see where the camera's really pointing. So being able to look and see what the shot is, hugely beneficial, thumbs up, easy use. These guys are a draw in the ease of use category. Durability. Now I harp on durability. Like I mentioned in the ease of use, action cameras just need to work. If you're afraid that it's gonna break when you take it out because you take a spill, like I almost did today filming this episode, if you're afraid that it's gonna break when you do that, you're just not gonna take it out. And what is the point of having a camera that you're afraid to take with you? The best camera is the one you have with you and the one that you're not afraid of using. So durability, hugely important. Now I say that, but neither of these cameras rank very high when it comes to durability. They both feel plasticky and they do not inspire confidence in the overall build quality. Now they are budget action cameras. These are not expensive, they are not top of the line, so I give them a lot of slack when it comes to durability because the build quality, they had to save money somewhere. Now a big additional ding against the Discovery that I mentioned in my full video is the charging port and the SD card slot are not covered. There is no door. They're just open to the environment. Now that's pretty rough for a camera or a piece of tech that might have a more than just friends relationship with the ground and dirt and mud. Like it's very easy for it to fall, and if you falls or it's raining or there's mud or there's dirt, you want to keep as much of that out as possible, and having two open slots straight into like your everything, all your technology magic inside of there, that's not good. Winner for durability, the Yi Lite. But it's not a good win. Like it's not very durable, and neither comes with a case. You have to buy the case extra, which we'll talk about in just a second. Compatibility with GoPro style gimbal and accessories. Okay, I am still baffled and boggled by this one, but before we get to what's driving me crazy, everybody probably already knows, let's talk about how they work with gimbals, because action camera gimbals are what are most important to me as an accessory. And both cameras do work well with GoPro style gimbals, which is huge for action cameras, as the main way people will use them, besides just strapping them to their helmet or their hat or like their bike or something. In this video specifically, the mountain biking sections are done with me wearing my Phaotech G5 with the action camera nestled inside. But here's the thing that I just don't understand. I do not understand this at all. The Yi Discovery has no mounting options straight out of the box. It doesn't. The Yi Lite has a quarter 20 on the bottom. The Yi Discovery has nothing. It has no way to mount it straight out of the box. Yes, like I said earlier, there's a case that you can buy that also increases their durability. It costs $30 extra just to be able to mount this, and if you're not using like duct tape or zip ties or something. And if you're gonna spend that money on the case, you're already in the Yi Lite territory, so why didn't you just get the Yi Lite in the first place? I don't understand why you would ship a camera that you can't mount to anything. I've never seen that before. Next up, decent, not perfect, image quality. Now, I make home videos, I make YouTube videos. I do not need top-of-the-line image quality in my videos, and I'm guessing the majority of you also don't need that. But we do need a certain level of quality to justify spending the money, right? We don't just want to waste our money on garbage. When I look at a camera, I want to make sure I'm getting my value for it. So decent, but not perfect image quality. Now, comparing these cameras to each other, the Yi Discovery has way more noise. Now, when the bike is moving, you can't really tell the difference between the two too much, but when I'm just standing here, the leaves of the tree behind me are almost moving for how much noise is in there. And that's just the cheaper sensor inside of it. Now, despite that, for the asking price, I think they both have decent image quality. You're never gonna get perfect image quality, and you certainly don't, out of a $100 and a $60 action camera respectively. But for what you're paying, you're actually getting decent. It's not amazing, but you're getting decent image quality. Now, they both have problems with audio and low light that we'll see here in just a second. And this is a low light and audio test of the two action cameras. So this is the audio and video out of the Yi Discovery. Audio test 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is the audio and video out of the Yi Lite action camera. Audio test 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that we got them both set up, let's see how the two different sensors can tolerate low light. So here we go. We are now at no light except for, you know, the backlight. Let's see, how does that look? I bet there's just... Action cameras in general are not good in low light, so I assume there's a terrible amount of noise. Let's bring up the light. This is maxed out light. So bright, so bright. We gotta figure out a better way to do this. Okay, bringing it down. All the way down. And all the way up. All the way down. And all the way up. So if this is full light, maybe you can see a bit of a difference between the two cameras in this way, and then we'll, like we already saw, the low light. So back to the video. Stabilization. I love stabilization. Stable footage is one of my favorite things. Probably why I own 5 separate gimbals and 3 separate stabilized cameras. I love stable footage. Your brain hurts when footage is shaky. So stabilization, big ups in my book. However, when you're getting a budget action camera, generally one of the things that they're gonna have to cut, since they don't have the best processor, is some kind of stabilization. Now, surprisingly, the Yi Lite does have electronic image stabilization. However, it adds this weird like fisheye warping distortion when you have it on, so I generally don't use it. But it does have it, whereas the Yi Discovery doesn't have any kind of stabilization. So now we're at the fun part, the conclusion. So what, right? So which of these two cameras should you get? I would strongly recommend saving up a couple extra bucks and getting the Yi Lite. The $40 is really, really worth it. However, budgets are budgets, and if you can only spend 60 bucks, should you get the Yi Discovery? No, you shouldn't. For your $60, there are better options out there. Now, if you were just sold with sticking with Yi, which is fine, I think Yi makes great action cameras, I'd get the original Yi. It is also a $60 action camera. It does 1080p up to 60 frames per second. It's really easy to use. It doesn't have a touchscreen, unfortunately, but it has a good processor and it has a good image sensor inside of it, and it actually does really nice when it comes to footage. It's a great camera for the price, honestly, and you can see a full video about it that I did right here. Ding! Now, a reminder to everyone that we mentioned in the live stream is if you want to have a great time after watching this video, just a reminder that you can come follow me on twitch.tv/TedTech, where we do a stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday after the TED video of the week, where we just like hang out, play video games. It's just a good time to just like detox and relax, and we can discuss YouTube stuff. It's super laid back, super chill. You should definitely join in because it's an awful lot of fun. And if you're new here, click that subscribe button down below. We do a cheapest tech video every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. man. Well, hey, I'm the Everyday Dad, and if I can figure out that I can appreciate what Yi's doing with the Discovery, but there are better places to spend your money, you can figure it out. Thanks for watching.